And welcome back to part 19 of what if Hinata was on Team 7 with Naruto and Sasuke. So we're now in the beginning of the war arc. I'll be honest, I might be able to finish it out this video. If not, I'll definitely finish it out on Wednesday. But we'll see what happens. So last we left off with Obito basically declaring war on the four great nations. Orochimaru also making an alliance with Obito. Now, as they're preparing for war, they do talk to Naruto and say, we need to hide you. No matter what, they need to get Naruto off, and hidden. So unfortunately, Hinata wants to be with her boo. She can't be. Sasuke and her are going to be on the front lines. Naruto though says it's fine, and they send Yamato there just in case. Basically, nothing's really going to change that much, with the exception of Manda wasn't killed, so you can have normal Manda showing up instead attacking Turtle instead of Manda 2.0, which was just dumb, in my opinion. That was because, wait, why didn't... Okay, whatever. Also, should note that Orochimaru is not the main puppet master of the... he's the main puppet master, but he's not the one actually controlling the Edo Tenseis. He's got Kabuto doing that. I think he would allow Kabuto to do that while Orochimaru goes and searches for Sasuke. But meanwhile, Naruto is training with Killer Bee. Obviously, the training for the Nine Tails begins, or to control the Nine Tails begins. He fails with that first test with his dark self and then accepts that, and then goes in and, goes to confront Kurama. Now, the difference here is very much that he didn't try to unlock the seal last time. Like, the fox didn't get out last time. So Naruto, when the minute he tries to undo the seal and open up the seal, all of a sudden he gets a hand stab. He's like, hold on, son. You think that's the best thing to be doing? It's like, son, what? Wait, you're on the fourth Hokage. Wait, let me see if I can get my Kurama was fourth Hokage. Get over here so I can kill you. Oh, he's a little grumpy at the moment. Let me take a step back here. It's like, wait, so you sealed it? I'm your son? It's like, yeah. And they had that conversation. Except this time it's a little different because Naruto's like, I see that. You feel you're ready to take on that responsibility and control the fox, huh? It's like, I am. It's like, well, I'll be here every step of the way. And then obviously Naruto does it, and he's like, boom. Now obviously Minato can't help fight, but I do think Minato gets to stick around and watch the fight. And it's like, yeah, just so you know, Fox. And he swings at Minato, who just kind of. Like, you do realize I'm not really here, right? I'm just a shadow of a memory, and then you get. Yeah, I'm a remaining fragment of a soul, pretty much. And then I might not be able to kill you, but you get the honor of watching me kill your brat. However, Naruto's like, yeah, maybe she'd been paying attention as a giant was Sengon, a sage empowered Sengon, slams right into his face. And it's like, ooh, and even when I was like, ooh, that had to hurt. And so their fight begins. Unfortunately, Kurama does ultimately start to overcome him. And I was like, come on, Naruto. All of a sudden, the chakra chains come out, and Minato sees, like, wait, those are... And he sees Kushina there. It's like, Mom? It's like, oh, there you are, honey. I'm here. It's like, Minato? Wait, you're still here? I thought... Wait, what happened here? It's like, yeah, it turns out, the young Naruto and the fox never took hold, so looks like we get a chance to spend some time again, huh? Kushina him. I can bet he calls him she's his princess. And it's like, oh, and then she just punches him. It's really hard. Like, ow, what was that for? Like, how many times I told you to stop calling me? It was embarrassing. She's blushing. Mom, you're blushing. It's like, I think you like it. No, I don't. Like, sorry, honey. And he kind of just goes, sorry, honey. He's like, oh, mother. And then she just kind of goes, and just kind of grabs him, just kisses him. It's like, God, I missed you. It's like, so there you go. And then obviously they talk about the day they met and things along those lines. Like, you bastard. It means like, you're ignoring me. What the hell? And so, yeah, it's like, don't worry. I can hold Foxy for a little while longer. And then Naruto goes and ultimately defeats Kurama. And obviously gets a hold of Fox. And then they fade out of his memory. And it's like, And it's like, you better start eating well. And by the way, that little girl, Hugo girlfriend you have, and she just looks at her like, what about it, Hinata? And to which Naruto's actually both like surprised and almost offended, like she's gonna say something bad. It's like, you chose really well, honey. It's like, just remember, son, We love you, and we'll always have we'll always have your back, no matter what. And then they disappear, and he just gets that nice, like, kind of like that weight off his shoulders and everything like that. And there now he appears in the fox cloak, and obviously the whole fight with Kasame and him and B and Guy, that goes down the same. And eventually Naruto goes and he tries to learn the tail-based bomb. It turns out he's got to make a Rasengan instead, so that happens. Everything that goes the same happens pretty much goes the same. It's just that confrontation with Kurama is different because he's got both Minato and Kushina in there. Now, cut to the battlefield. What's interesting here is that Team 7, it's still Kakashi, Sasuke, and Hinata, and they face off against the 7th Swordsman, which does ultimately, help out a little bit with the situation because Sasuke wields a sword, and yes, I didn't really bring it up, but yes, he did ultimately put Itachi's eyes in him and gain the Eternal Mangekyo, which means he can waste these guys pretty easily. So these guys are going back, and a lot of this is going about the same, with the exception of something big that happens, where Sasuke is taking us to Shinobi. He sees Itachi, and Itachi is him and Naruto do end up meeting up, and Killer Bee. They face off against Itachi and Nagato. Obviously, Itachi snaps out of it. They beat Nagato. But as Sasuke and Itachi are talking and, explain what they did, eventually Sasuke does, because this Sasuke isn't, he's not bound by hate. He does come to accept what his brother did, and he understands that, he hates the fact you killed mom and dad, but you're still my brother, and I understand why you did it, because you loved the village more than you loved your family. But it's like that's, and then to which Itachi said that, and Itachi even says that's partly true. I loved the village more than I was willing to agree to, more than I was willing to agree with my family to destroy the village. But I loved you more than I loved the village. And that does, and they kind of do have a hug. It's like, how touching. And then all of a sudden Orochimaru shows up and says, Itachi, Sasuke, what brilliant timing. I assume you're going to try to stop Kabuto. You were on your way to stop Kabuto and force him to release the Edo Tensei. I'm afraid we have other business. To which Itachi's like, you slimy snake. And to which Sasuke finally just says, I should have killed you when I had a chance. Now I'm going to rectify the decision. Do you think you can, Itachi? After all, I could easily undo the Edo Tensei myself. It would only take but a moment. And it's like, you're the one that I'm calling your bluff, Orochimaru. You're not the one who cast it. Oh, you got to be. But still, it would take. It doesn't mean I don't know how to incapacitate a living corpse such as yourself. And then Sasuke steps, I was like, Itachi, go handle Kabuto. Sasuke, I'm the one he wants. Isn't that right, Orochimaru? You want these eyes? And then he just kind of flashes. Sorry, goes like, oh, Sasuke, you just keep getting better and better. Giving yourself to me willingly is such. It's so appealing. It's like he's getting like all. Even Sasuke. Okay, that's gross, dude. And very well, Itachi, you can go. You will have no better luck with Kabuto than you think, though. Or you'll have a much harder time dealing with Kabuto than you think, though. And, he goes off, and Sasuke and Orochimaru face up. Sasuke's just got his arm and his hand. I was like, so then, Sasuke, shall we begin? And to which Sasuke just, Amaterasu! And Orochimaru quickly gets the hell out of the way. It's like, I won't be caught by that technique so easily. Sasuke just goes for the striking shadow stake. Just immediately puts up Susanoo around his ribcage. I could say the same thing, Orochimaru. Just blows out fire towards him. So this begins. They just clash. Meanwhile, cut to the front lines where Naruto's taking out. A lot of the fighting is going on pretty much the same as it always does. Including Madara getting resurrected, and it's mostly a lot of the same stuff happening elsewhere. So really, the big thing going on right now is Orochimaru and Sasuke fighting, because even their confrontation with Obito later on with Killer Bee and Naruto, that goes the exact same, including the point where release the tail beast, and then him and Kurama finally work together. Really, your two big differences here is that Itachi does go to, finally gets the Kabuto. Kabuto gives him a decent bit of a struggle. He doesn't have his sage techniques, unfortunately, but he does have a little bit of Orochimaru's DNA, which Orochimaru honestly decided to give to him just to help boost him a little bit. And it's not as anywhere near complete as it was in the original, because he doesn't have, he's got Sugetsu's DNA, so I guess you could make the argument he could do it. Because, yeah, actually, that's exactly right, because Sugetsu wasn't there anymore. So, yeah, you can make that argument. And so he's still not as powerful as Orochimaru, nor does he have the sage mode that he ends up getting. So, him and Itachi are going to struggle, pretty much as they did initially, with a couple tricks up Kabuto's sleeve, but ultimately go nowhere. And it does ultimately release the Edo Tensei. Unfortunately, Madara counteracts that, and he's still wreaking havoc. Meanwhile, Sasuke and Orochimaru are continuing to duke it out. It's like, Sasuke, don't you understand? You can live forever through me. Then we could be one perfect being. Then your Sharingan, my knowledge, it'd be perfect. Don't you understand? And they just clash again. It's like, yeah, I understand. I understand you're nuts. I understand you're psychotic. I don't think you do. Let me show you what it could be like. And unfortunately, Orochimaru catches him in that technique where he's trying to swap buys with him at that moment. It's like, what is it? This is it, Sasuke. This is the moment where we join. Where we become one. And Sasuke's just like, you really think I could fall for something like this? Flashes Mangekyo. Oh, I think, trust me, Sasuke, I'm aware. But because thanks to this body of Sugetsu gave to me so willingly, I will be so easily taken over. Not only did it give me quite the unique ability to turn my body to liquid, but also made my mind more fluid, agile, harder to break. You'll find it very difficult to control, to overwhelm what's going on. And then Sasuke's just looking at, he looks at Sasuke's eyes again. It's not a Mangekyo Sharingan looking at him. It's an eternal Mangekyo Sharingan looking at him. Did you really think I'd let you take me over after everything you put? Like, what is this? No! Orochimaru luckily breaks the jutsu. This time he doesn't get absorbed into Sasuke. Unfortunately, he's taken off guard, to which Sasuke just goes, Amaterasu. And Amaterasu says, I will beget you. Can't take me down, but it gets you again. I won't fall for that. Take you, and gets grabbed by the Susanoo. And like, I can just turn to liquid. You really think that will stop me? I can easily just turn to liquid. And all of a sudden, he's feeling, what is this? He's like, man, this is the power of my Mangekyo Sharingan. As he's creating the arrow of Amaterasu right within Orochimaru's being. That's something I did that in one other what if I did. I'm not gonna say which what if it was, but I had someone. I'm not gonna say who. If you haven't watched the What If, I actually can't remember which What If it was in. I think it might have been Naruto, the Uchiha one. Anyway, it might not have been that one, or maybe the Jiraiya adopted Naruto. Point being, I had someone. I had at one point had Orochimaru steal Sugetsu's body again, and he basically went liquid against an opponent, and the opponent says, like, I told you I can survive. And all of a sudden, the opponent, it's like the opponent starts heating up his blade with fire chakra. It's like, you really think I would know how to counteract that? And then, Orochimaru's just like, ah! So that's kind of what happened here, except it's Amaterasu, which burns with the heat of the sun and burns the targets completely and can even burn underwater. So, yeah, Orochimaru's now, it's like, nah! And plus, all of a sudden, the chakra actually changes forms a little bit and actually contains him in a sphere with the flame. And it's like, now you're not getting away. Now you'll just be, you won't, Sasuke! I will not die as long as you have that curse mark. The will always be with you. And to which, he kind of feels the curse mark. Like, that may be the case, but as long as I'm alive, that part of you is not getting out. And then he can feel the chakra all of a sudden spike over by the main battlefield where the tail beast battle is going on happening. So he heads over there. Now you have Madara. You have Madara. You have Obito. You unfortunately don't have. Although you could make an argument, he could have brought out the souls of the Hokages, added them to Clash. In fact, you know what? Just for the sake of still having there, I'm doing that. They were created by Orochimaru. They were not created by Kabuto, because he wanted to fail safe. Unfortunately, he was killed, so they're free to do whatever they want. And they can sense that it's like the user's broken. So yeah. And thanks to a little bit of Sharingan shenanigans maybe from Sasuke or someone else, they are at least able to operate on their own devices to some degree. So obviously Obito is going nuts. Now, most of this fight now goes about the same as it did in the original. In fact, with the exception of Hinata being stronger, there's not much of a change in the fight ultimately. She's able to take out more of the Zetsus, sure, but Sasuke's powers are just where they were initially. Same are Naruto's, so... yeah, after that, I mean, dealing with that, there's not much else that changes. Except for the fact that Hinata doesn't get taken into... that's actually one thing that doesn't change. Hinata being part of Team 7 is protected by Sasuke's Susanoo, so it's Team 7 again versus Kaguya. And fortunately, Hinata is much more useful than Sakura was. When she lands a strike, it's chakra infused to like the umpteenth degree, so I think she just, at that brief moment, subconsciously adds both her fire and lightning together. Basically just slam right down to Kaguya's neck. Even though she can technically absorb chakra, that still is a lot of chakra concentrated at one point. She needs a moment, and it does burn holes. So that's where that slam comes in. Plus, Tsunade teaching the super strength is very helpful too. So she not only lands a chakra-infused palm, but it's super strength palm, which just nearly breaks her neck. But because of how strong Kaguya is, it doesn't really matter that much. So... still, they end up sealing. Biggest difference here is that Sasuke isn't going evil or anything like that. So there's no final confrontation with Sasuke in Naruto. So cut over really quick to the Boruto years then, because I'm not doing Boruto. I don't read or watch Boruto, so anyone who's asking me to do Boruto, unless you're throwing Boruto into the Naruto canon, like time travel, because there was an entire arc about that in the anime. But sending him into the beginning of Naruto or something like that, I'm not going to be doing Boruto what ifs. That's like the one line I'm drawing, and that's only because I don't read or watch it. If I read or watched it, I'd have a different opinion. But I've read a certain amount of it, I've watched a certain amount of it, and I just don't like it. I'm not a fan of it. We see some cool stuff out of it, sure, but I'm just not a fan of it myself. It's not for me. I think it really... if I'm going to be honest, I think it really disses on what Naruto initially did. So, that's my opinion. Anyway, so we cut over to the Boruto years. Obviously, Hinata and Naruto have their kids, Boruto and Himawari. I can see Sadara being a Tenten and Sasuke's kid, definitely. She'd be a bit more proficient in weapons, because remember, I know from the anime that Sadara didn't have any talents for medical ninjutsu, so that was fun. Funny, but yeah, I can see her being more weapon proficient with her mom and working in the shop, and then her dad sometimes coming in and out. Though nowhere near as much as he did. He's staying in the village a lot more. Got to keep his arm. I think Sasuke and Lee did. You got Metal with Sasuke and Lee's kid. There's your fanfic. That I do believe that was the case. Hinata never really had a serious relationship. Kiba did. Near the Shino. We know Choji got hooked up with Karui, Sai and Ino hooked up. Although, I don't know if Ino and Sai would in this case, because they just weren't that... Sai was not a big part of this series, unfortunately. Also, what happened to Danzo? Because I admit, I brought up Danzo and then I never kind of addressed what ended up happening to him. Unfortunately, he was never able to overtake the village. So... he was already in the age range of the third Hokage when he died. So when the third Hokage was around. So I can imagine maybe he lived to be older, but unfortunately he just never could overthrow Tsunade or Kakashi or Naruto. So yeah, Danzo gets. This is one of those things where Danzo gets what's coming to him. Absolutely nothing. And by that I mean he doesn't get jack. He just gets to sit on his ass and be like, and just stew for all those years, which is kind of a fitting punishment in its own right. I know a lot of times I'll have Danzo dealt with in really extreme ways, but in this case, I feel like Danzo not being dealt with is the best way to deal with him, because there's no way he can deal with the roadblocks he has. So Ino and... is there anyone else I can pair up? I mean, I'm just throwing stuff out here because we're pretty much at the end of this now. Is there anyone I got to pair Ino off with? Kasai? Whatever. mean, Tamari and Shikamaru, that's an obvious one. You know what? Because sometimes like Karui and Choji came out of nowhere, I will throw Kiba and Ino out of nowhere. So Kiba and Ino's son is let's see here. What would be a good name for Kiba and Ino's son or daughter? You know what? I think something like Ichiriki or something like that. I don't know. I'm making names up here. Ichiriki is actually not a bad name. Or Ichiriku. Something like that. I don't know exactly, but I like the itchy something in there. Something like that would be kind of cool. But I digress. That is ultimately where we end this What If. So Wednesday, I'll be starting a new What If. Probably a Naruto one, but it all depends on who's next in the book. So we'll keep our eyes out for that. Until then, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. Like, comment, share, subscribe. As always, you want us to review a review of something, put in the comments below. Let us know. And ideas for who would win, Star Wars, What If, anything out of the channel, put in the comments below as well. Until then, thanks for watching. See you next time.